Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk, where we have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU band culture, music education, and more. Something is really weird right now with my headphones. Anyway, can y'all hear me? Okay, I can't hear nothing. Real quick though, let's just go ahead and do it this way. What's going on, Portia? How you doing?
I'm good. Can't complain. Happy New Year.
I feel like I haven't seen y'all in a month of Sundays. It's been a long time. So real quick, what's going on, Brother Quan? Hey, me and you, we just got finished wrapping up eating a din. So I get it. Both of us was over here smashing. But man, how's it been going with y'all, man? It's been a while, man. What's going on with you, Quan?
It's my favorite time of the year, concert season. So we programming things, and can y'all hear me? Yeah, we programming things, getting things solidified for the concert season. Excited about that, of course. Mixing in with a few Mardi Gras parades here and there in Galveston. Getting ready for our drumline will be competing this Saturday in Dallas at the Drill Time Productions battle. So we just got a lot going on, bro. Shout them all the time. Also TMEA, let's not forget that. So got a lot of stuff going on.
Word. So as I told you, I don't know what's going on with my audio over here. So I'm gonna pretend like I heard what you said, but I ain't hear nothing that you said, bro. But see, it's not that I wasn't paying attention. Some is going on with my audio. This is a new one for me, so I'm trying to figure this out. At the same time, we're trying to make sure that we good. But Portia, what's been going on with you?
Nothing. I just been relaxing, hanging out, enjoying not having anything to do. Let's get ready to change. It's recruitment season, but I just been relaxing. Like, I'm so happy to, really just not have anything to do.
I feel like, I'm just going to be very honest. I feel like you said that you've been doing nothing but just hanging out.
Yep, that's what I said.
Okay, yeah, I was reading lips really good. I'm telling you, I have no idea what's going on with this audio, but we're going to figure it out, and we also going to roll through the show. I can tell you, man, today is definitely going to be uncomfortable for some. Maybe a little uncensored for other folks. But what I want to do, man, is this is also going to be, I want to say, a group discussion. And when I say a group discussion, that means everybody who was watching, I want you all to be involved with the conversation that we have going on. I'm telling you, today to me is just going to be a super fun day. So I will tell you how all of this came about. All of this came about because this live. Malik, we live. And so I'm gonna tell you how this came about, man. Originally, the first show back. Matter of fact, man, Happy New Year to everybody, man. I don't even think we even got to that part, man. Happy New Year to everybody.
I said that.
See, I don't know. I couldn't hear you. I didn't hear nothing you said. But Happy New Year, everybody. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that portion. But this show came about because the first show that we were supposed to be doing coming back was supposed to be the Viewer's Choice. But then We got so many subscribers that just have happened. You know, we bless God for all the subscribers, and thank you guys for continuing to subscribe to the channel. And then one of the people who newly subscribed was like, you know, they appreciated their time in band, and you know, this page and this channel has been a breath of fresh air for them. And so I said, hey, well, let's talk about it then, right? And so one of the things that I realize is we've been in this game for 2 years. This show has been going on for 2 years. I'm super excited by it. But one of the things that we've never done is we've actually never had a show about who we are and how we got here. Not necessarily how we got to the show, but what was our process through all that we have done to get to this thing called band. And so we're going to talk about it today. I want everybody in the chat to talk about it. We're going to start from the beginning and we're going to come all the way up. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, I want to go ahead and say this. Apri has a basketball game that she's doing tonight, so she may not be with us, but she did send over something for us to look at, and so we're going to also look at that. And so if you all don't know, Apri is a cheerleading coach at a high school, and so that's why she's at that basketball game. All right, so I'm going to also get involved in this. Everybody in the chat needs to get involved in this. This is probably one of the first times that we are going to be heavily involved in the chat, so let's get ready to do this. All right, so here we go. We are going to start from the beginning. I'm going to throw it to Quan first. Then I'm going to throw it to Portia. And I'm going to bring it back to me. All right? And I'm doing this for two reasons. One, because I want y'all to go ahead and kick it off. But two, that gives me a chance to be able to figure out what's going on with the sound thing too. All right? So here we go. First question out the gate. First question that I'm asking Quan and everybody in the chat. I want to see you guys light up the chat. What was your first introduction into band?
All right, so we're looking at the year is 1995. I remember like it was yesterday. My brother, if you see this, big shout out to him. We call him School, but my brother played trombone back home for a junior high school. Again, in Louisiana, they had middle school marching bands. And outside, a few minutes, about 30 minutes outside of New Orleans, he went to a middle school called Leon Gacho Junior High in St. John Parish. Well, the band director, who was the middle school band director at his school, was also one of the chief arrangers for St. Augustine. His name is Mr. Adrian Watkins, and they called him Chief. So some of the tunes that St. Aug played, Mr. Adrian Watkins wrote as well. All right. So my brother used to go to the city and actually play, you know what I mean? And actually play trombone. It was a cold trombone player, right? So that was my first introduction. So he had a piece that he played called Green Sleeves that he played on the trombone his 8th grade year. He was, knocked out the park for section leader, middle school, so forth and so on. That was my first introduction. Then we ended up going to see Southern University, 1995. Now, for those that do not know, that is one of the best Southern programs. And that was the introduction of Cold Hearted Snake. And it was yamming that thing. So that was my first introduction to band overall.
All right. Portia, what was your first introduction to band?
I've been around band my whole life. Like my grandmother was in a marching band. My mom marched for Morgan. While she was in college, my sister marched at Virginia State, and she's like 13 years older than me. So when she was in college, I was a little girl. So we would go down there to the games. So I kind of been around it my whole life. My mom would take me back to homecomings at Morgan. My sister was in school. So I would just be around bands growing up. So it's been always been a part of my life. And my sister, actually marched color guard. My mom played clarinet. So yeah.
All right. Somebody saying Brother Moore is saying my sound is muffled now. Is it muffled now? Can
A
y'all hear me?
little.
Oh, Smith's there.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I told you I'm trying to make these adjustments at the same time. It ain't my fault, man. It ain't. All right. What about now?
That's
What
better, I think.
It's better now.
Yes. Very much so.
All right. This is. I probably know what happened. My daughter was probably over here messing with this stuff and messed around and messed up my whole setup. Now I got to go back and do it again. Anyway, my introduction to band. Here it goes. My complete introduction to band. It was my family. Like my introduction, I didn't really have a choice in the matter of being introduced to band. My mama played saxophone, my brother played saxophone, and so it was just in the car. So I had to see it some type of way, and that's it. I mean, I don't have a tremendous story like that. All right, but how I got in band, and I'm gonna throw it right back. How I got in band though, again, I didn't have a choice. When it was my 6th grade year in Welch Middle School, shout out to Welch Middle School, H-Town, Texas. It was my 6th grade year. We were getting ready for your 6th grade year, and you already know how it is. You got to sign up for whatever elective that you want. I really wanted to do art. That was what I wanted to do. I could draw. I was dope at drawing. Like I would go if I had time, I would go get my art book to show you how dope I was. Since you making that face one, anyway. But no, I could draw. I was freehand. Like I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And my mom said, no, that's not what happened. Like I said, my brother was in band. I was in band. I mean, my mom was in band, and so she said, "You gonna be in band?" And I was like, I didn't want to be in band. So I signed up for art and I signed up for band at the same time. I don't even know how I ended up having both of those electives. And what happened was I was more into art, but when they got me into class, they was like, yeah, so today we're going to be learning how to cut out these shapes and mold these figures. And I was like, bro, that's not what I came here to do. All I want to do is draw. If I'm not drawing, I don't want to be here. And I want to say I spent maybe a week in that class. And then after that, I was out. And band is what I stuck with. That's how I got in band. So that's what it is. Portia, how did you get into band? And also people in the chat, how'd y'all get into band? Go ahead.
Thank you, Sora. Happy belated Founders Day to you too. Let me start off with that. Yeah, we're gonna acknowledge that it was yesterday and I didn't get to wear letters, so I got them on the day. Yeah. So
Zetas.
Zetas, thank you. My mom said I had to do something. Like I used to take like ballet and tap and stuff, and I was sick of that. Like the recitals, the weekend practices. It was really, and then I was, back then want that girly. So I really didn't want to keep doing it. And my mom was like, you have to do something. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So my sister had marched to Virginia State when I was younger, and I had been around band my whole life. So I was like, I'm going to try out to be a, color guard. So I went. It was at the end of my freshman year at Henrico, and I went and they started teaching. And at first, the first day I was like, oh Lord, I don't know what I got myself into. But then every day it got a little bit better, and we did it. It was like after school for like 3 weeks or so, and then you had the audition. I never forget. We had to do a flag portion, and we had to do like a stand portion, and the audition song was Lights, Camera, Action, Mr. Cheeks. Yeah, that was the song that we had to dance to. I never forget it. Every time that song comes on, I still remember that little routine that I had to do.
Boom, boom.
So,
boom, boom.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I ended up here, and the rest is history. Like, that was it. I had to try to do something, and yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. Hey, lights, camera, action. You know what I'm saying?
She said
Uh,
you're not gonna sit in the house and do nothing. So if you don't want to do that dance stuff no more, you got to figure something out. So here I am.
I was about to put the incriminating photos up, but I'm a chill.
Of
Unless
me?
the ones you sent
Oh,
over.
I don't
Oh,
care. I
you
was
okay?
cute
All right,
then.
all right. I got you. Since you okay, I got you. All right, Quan, how'd you get in bed, bro?
Man, all right. So I'm not gonna go to a long story because everybody don't need to know my business like that. But I'll just say it like this: I was an at-risk student, and so I got expelled from a few schools. You did, and so in the process of getting expelled from a few schools, I ended up meeting Mr. Kelvin Berry, who's the drum instructor at Jackson State, and so I met him. And about 2 weeks later, unfortunately, I got expelled again from the school for doing something. So I ended up going to a school uh, on the other side of the river in the parish. I ended up going to a school called Edgar, Louisiana, West St. John. And so I met my band director there to officially be in the band. I was always around band. You cannot be not around band in being in the New Orleans area, New Orleans, Louisiana, South Louisiana area. But to officially get in, I joined my sophomore year in high school. So I missed out on a lot. However, uh, with hard work and dedication, hey, you know, I got it together.
So-
What's really funny is, bro, like one day I never forget, I had asked my band director, Mr. Anderson, I said, bro, like what you gotta, and I asked him just like this, what you gotta do to like do what you do? And he was like, what? Do what? Like, like do the band thing, like teach band like you doing, cause this I like it. He was like, you gotta go to school. He was like, you gotta go to school. He was like, yeah. I said, I'm gonna go to school then, because I was gonna be a process technician and work in the power plant back home in Louisiana and make buku money. But in 1 year, that's when I went to a PV band camp, the last one that they had for a decade, and I ended up joining.
So Brother Sutton in the chat said, you smoke crack, don't you?
Nah, I
Smoke
didn't
crack,
smoke
don't you?
it.
Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
Nah, I didn't smoke it. I didn't smoke it.
So Portia, this is baby Portia. That's you in the far right, right?
Yeah, in the corner. This is my
With the white shirt?
yeah, that's a dress. They had me down there with that dress on. That's my sister and the people she marched flag with at Virginia State. I was
All right.
like 5 in this picture.
Look at that.
Or
Looking like
6
you ready
or
to slap
something like
somebody
that.
already.
Yeah, I've always had the same looks. It's just a bigger body, but yeah.
All right, cool, man. Man, I appreciate everybody who's continuing to put all your stuff in there, man. Keep them coming, man. We reading every single one of them, man. All right, so here we go. That's the introduction to band. Quan said he started his process in high school. For me that wasn't the case, man. And it's really great to be able to see and hear other people's stories, man, because everybody doesn't have the same story. We not all cut from the same cloth, and it's really amazing to be able to see how we started and then where we are. So with that being said, Quan was already in high school. Portia, what was your process into getting into the high school program? What was that like?
I just had to I came. It was like a 3-week thing. After school, they taught us like the basics, and then we had to learn a routine. The little stand portion, little dance routine part, and then an actual routine to what the heck song was that? It was slow. I never understood. It was like Ribbon in the Sky or something. It was crazy. Which would not be played on the field. But yeah, we had a audition portion. It was 2 parts, and I just showed up after school. There were flyers all over school. And that when I first started, and you'll see a transition, but we were really girly. The squad was girly. Like I wore glitter, the dancer tights, shiny tights with high knee boots, and headbands and all that. So I know that world. I know everybody looks at me through the lens of a silk hat, but I was girly for my first 2 years.
Basically,
smiling.
what Portia was saying is she had her janks out when she was when she was doing the
Yeah,
original joint. She had them
at
janks out.
first,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, at first it was a little something. My dad first saw that outfit. He was like, "Where's she wearing that? Who? What?" So my mama made me go put on the whole thing, the tights and everything, because he was not feeling it. He saw the little glitter hanging with the little skirt. He said, "Oh no, you're not gonna wear that." But I had to put on the whole thing, and he was like, my mom's like, "Oh, ain't she cute?" He was like, "No, but you want this, so I'm gonna let it happen."
All right, cool. So I'm gonna be real with y'all. Between middle school to about high school, like band was cool, but I was kind of anti-band. Like that's just the truth. Like it's real. When I got in the sixth grade band, like I was telling y'all, like I was really a natural talent, so I kind of moved to the first chair, beginning band, and so on and so forth. Same thing happened seventh grade year, same thing happened eighth grade year, but going into ninth grade, it was this chick I was into. You know what I'm saying? I known her since elementary school, and we started dating in like sixth, seventh grade. And so because we was dating in sixth, seventh grade, she played saxophone in the band. So I was like, all right, cool. But so she went to another school. She went to a joint called Boys and Girls Preparatory Academy. And that's where she was going. And they ain't had no band there. It was like a little phony charter school on the southwest side of Houston. And so I was like, well, shoot, since she going, I'm going. That was and then my mom was like, yo, you gonna stop playing trumpet though? Like that's just it. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like it's not happening no more. Until my brother went to Sharpstown High School for 2 years, and then he went to Willow Ridge High School for his last 2 years. And so his senior year over the summer, they had band camp. I was in love, man. I was in love. I was following the cheats. But so their senior year, my brother's senior year, they were having summer band camp, and my brother was like, "Hey, come to rehearsal with me." And I was like, all right, cool. I'll come to rehearsal, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't care about no band. It's about to be lame, you know what I'm saying? So we go into the auditorium of Willow Ridge High School. And back then, man, Willow Ridge High School was like 300 deep, 300 plus deep, actually. And so they're on the stage. They're about to practice. They're about to warm up. And so I'm sitting in the audience. And during the time, one of Willow Ridge's, claim to fame songs was "Give It to Me, Baby." And at that time, we had 5 drum majors. I remember all my drum majors, Rebecca and Nick and Zwan and all of them. So they were all on the stage. And band director, Mr. Thornton, got arrested. So he always says this: whistle 2, 3, 4, and then we say ready 2, 3, and then we play, right? So I'm in the audience, and they did that, and they cranked up "Give It to Me, Baby," and the drum majors were doing their normal routine to "Give It to Me, Baby." I had never seen nothing like this before, and that just blew my mind. And at that point, I was like, man, forget her. I'm coming here. I was like, shoot, my brother go here. He drive. I don't drive, so that means I got an easy ride to this joint. And they playing like this, and I could be a part of this. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sold. She'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I ended up getting into Willow Ridge High School, man. It was because my brother. It was really because of my brother. If my brother had not have brought me to that rehearsal, I would have never ended up in Willow Ridge band at all. I would have been at Boys and Girls Preparatory. And here's the cold thing: while y'all in the comments talk about me and I was in love, she ain't even go to Boys and Girls Preparatory. She ended up going to Sharpstown High School. So it actually worked out fine because hey, I made it. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But no, man. Was Thornton Willow Ridge's first band director? No, he was not Willow Ridge's first band director. I'm glad you asked that question. Yes, he was at Forest Brook and at TSU before. Actually, here's a really cool story about that. I taught at Forest Brook in that band room. I taught there for 1 year, and so it was just a beautiful thing for me to be able to actually bring it around full circle, to be able to step into that same band room that he was at. So yeah, that's my story. I'm about to pull up a high school photo of me in a second, so y'all can see what I looked like back then. But here we go. Here's the next question, Quan. And I know that we talked about this before, but I maybe if you choose to expound on it, you can. What was your most memorable high school performance?
So for me, unfortunately, I was able to go to the school, and honestly, from a student academic perspective, clean my act up due to my band director, Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Kelvin. But unfortunately, I was at a school where football reigned supreme. It was a small, like 2A school, but they went to the Superdome, the championship every year. So that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like football was king on that campus. Um, and it's a rural town. Matter of fact, if you ever heard of the Whitney Plantation, it's literally down the street from that. So all you see is River Road, sugarcane plantations, school. That's literally what it is. And them brothers played football and was athletes from the beginning. I went to school with Tyson Jackson. He was drafted, I believe, number 7 for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was like that type of, you know what I'm saying, school. But I was able to perform in the Superdome during a championship game, just really simple. So my high school wasn't just like spectacular because I was just getting into it. But it did set the foundation for hard work, discipline, and dedication. So I must say that.
All right, bet. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Once again, all of our stories are different. And I see a lot of people saying that they want to get on the live. There's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna let you in. Right now, we're just letting everybody share their story through the chat. And then at the end, we'll let you in and let you just go and just enjoy yourself, man. All right. Portia, memorable high school performance.
I'm talking on mute. I'm trying to think. I think the most memorable performance is the one that I sent the video of. We came down to Norfolk. It was twice that year. We came to the Norfolk State competition, and then we came down to this Alice Mays thing that I think Iota Zai had helped coordinate at the scope. And it was like so that I think that was the most memorable. We had gone through a transition that year. We had a new coach. We changed style completely. It was not girly anymore. We adopted that Silkette style, and we had kind of cleaned up that year. And I think that was our last like performance of the year. And so the band, we just was locked in that day, and it was a good way to like end my marching band career kind of for high school. And I thought I was done completely, but I guess we'll get to that later.
And so, yes, we do have the clip of what she's talking about. And so she shared it with us, and we gonna share it with you guys right now. Because we gotta this is the receipts. This is the receipts. You gotta have the receipts. All right. So here we go. Let's pull this up real quick. And then you guys, y'all keep going in the chat, man. Y'all talk about y'all most memorable one. Yeah. It is tough. It is tough, man. You talking about 4 years of high school doing it. It's a tough one to try to pull up. All right, here we go.
Is it freezing?
Y'all literally was like straight up silks. Straight up silks. Like 100%. You said is it
It was
freezing?
freezing. It was freezing for me, but I don't know if everybody else could see it.
Nah, it was still going.
Oh, my
Oh,
bad.
see, it was like freezing for me. I'm
She
sorry.
said it was freezing. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry about that. She said it was freezing, so I thought it was actually freezing.
It
All
was
right,
freezing
so
for me. I was asking.
oh, I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. I know y'all was enjoying Portia hitting it with her with 5, 6, 7s, and 8s in the snaps.
You could actually see me if you kept going, but
I'm sorry.
that's okay. Nope,
My
no
bad.
worries.
My bad. All right. So really quick, very quick story before I tell you guys this. This is my freshman year in high school. This was right when we got our new uniforms. And so these joints is fresh out of the bag. But this is me, my freshman year in high school at Willow Ridge, after I transferred. There we go. That's me right there. Look at me. Look, just happy with my little silver horn. Can you see me? Hold up, wait. I ain't pull it up. Boom. There it is.
That's small. I can't see that.
You can't see it now? I done zoomed it in.
Hold on.
Zoom in some more.
How do you zoom in some more? Golly, I can't zoom in no more than.
There you go.
Oh, that's you in the middle. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
That's me. That's me. Freshman year. Looking pretty. Nah, I was looking phony. But I mean, and shout out to my guy Juan. He was the assistant band director at my high school for a while. So he took a picture of me from every single year. So this is freshman year, sophomore year, junior year,
You look
and
upset.
then senior year. You say what?
You look upset that junior year picture.
Yeah, I kind of was, but there was a reason behind. So the reason why I looked upset is because in high school we had a
Look great.
Oh, you saw Greg?
Yeah,
he's my crack. But the reason why is because we had a high school frat at the time, and I was on. All right, here we go. For me,
well, just one thing. Shout out to my student Katie. She just said you was on the trip too. She says she's still in high school, but our most memorable one is when the band went to DC. So you was there. Yeah, that was live.
It was dope. It was dope. It was definitely a great trip. Yeah. It was a good trip, man. And what was the joint that we went to that had the pizza? Not the first pizza joint. Blowjob. BJ's.
Oh my God. Pause.
BJ's. Pause. My bad. That's the only way I remember it is BJ's. But the pizza was good though. That pizza was good.
It was. Bro.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So I have actually two memorable moments, man. Again, during my time at Willow Ridge, like Willow Ridge was a really big name, a really big name. As a matter of fact, my freshman year was the year that we went down to Southern for the Southern Battle of the Bands, and that was the first time I had ever seen Kennedy High School. And Kennedy High School was dope at that time. But you know, we won
2000?
02. Well, no, sorry, I'm sorry. 98, 99.
They waxed that ass. I'm sorry.
What?
They waxed that ass, boy.
No, they didn't.
I'm sorry.
No, they didn't.
All right,
no, they didn't. One, we got first place at that battle. Two,
it was because y'all from Texas.
Bro, that ain't had nothing to do with it, dog. That ain't had nothing to do with it. Don't play that game.
Pull up the footage. Since we pulling up footage, since Cat Williams said,
I got the footage. Wait. Let's keep it a buck. I have the footage, but I'm not gonna bombard the show with all that footage. I'm trying to bring up the footage that's relevant to the conversation. All so right. You know what? We'll do this. We can I'll pull up the footage. I just ain't gonna do it right now. Yeah, we'll do it later. All right, but I have two memorable performances. My freshman year, when we had a high school battle of the bands at the end of the school year. He was at Robinson Stadium, and every single band from the city of Houston was there, as well as PV was the exhibition performance at the end of all of that as they were tallying scores. That was really my first time ever seeing PV up close. I'm gonna be honest, at the time I didn't care. And rightfully so. I went to Willow Ridge during that time. So Willow Ridge during that time, we really would it was college bands we just didn't care about. I'm just gonna be very honest with you. So with that being said though, so that was my first most memorable performance. And then the second one was Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, my senior year, performing in that, and just the whole trip in general. Just being able to go to Macy's as a high school kid, being in New York. And honestly, it wasn't my first time at New York with Willow Ridge Band. We actually went the year prior for the IAJE Jazz Festival. But this trip was a lot different because of the exposure that we were able to have in the city. And just experiencing that cold Macy's, that makes it cold, bro. But I'm going to pull up the video that I'm talking about, my freshman year video. And I'm not going to pull the whole thing up because it actually is pretty long. So I will start this video right at the end of the drum feature. And we'll go from there. So here we go. Pulling it up right now. What?
Always killing the drummer's vibe. But
you want to put up one before that? I'll pull up one before that. You want to see ICE?
No, I don't.
You do. Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You sure you don't?
Positive.
All right. Anyway, see, man, you my boy, man. You just be hating, though. Be hating, dog. Don't be hating.
I ain't gonna lie. Willow Ridge is the Houston St. Augustine.
You say what?
Willow Ridge is the Houston St. Augustine.
Really? Yeah. Well, during that time. I can agree to that. All right, here we go. Since he did say that, I'll pull up the first half of the video, but we probably ain't gonna make it to the drum feature because it's pretty long. All right, so here we go. This is my freshman year. One of the last performances that we did in the year.
Gentlemen, presenting the world-renowned Mighty Eagle Willow Ridge Band and Wings Dance Team. PYT with the Mighty Willow Ridge Marching Eagle Band, Majorette, Color Guard, and Wing Dance Team. With complete direction from drum majors Ashley Guillory, Nicholas Edwards, Domingo Forte, Christopher Murray, and head drum majors Juan Graves.
Talking about the struggle march.
We play non-stop as long as there's a beat, so it's time to call them up for another spectacular show.
That's my brother.
With the saxophone?
Saxophone player. That's my big brother. You say what?
He wasn't.
Hey, I told you he was the one who got me in band. He loved band. That's him again. I let it go that long because this is me. Right there. Looking phony. Extra phony.
At least give me the tuba part.
You say what?
Give me the tuba
All
part.
right, I'll get to the tuba part. All right. All right, you got your tuba part. Yeah, so obviously you all can tell as a freshman coming in why that would be a memorable performance, right? Like, but yes, I was phony. I was fresh. Hey, y'all not gonna talk about me in my marching style back then, okay? Look, I was phony. I was skating. Yes, Malik, I was skating. I ain't know no better. All I knew was to play my part. That was it. Hey, no, I was not a short, skinny kid by any stretch of the imagination. And yes, I was absolutely chocolate. Just you got to remember being in that Texas sun. Yeah. No, I take it. Listen, my wife tells me all the time she thought that she was gonna get some chocolate babies because when she met me, we were in band and I was a lot more chocolate because of that sun. So yeah. That's really what happened. All right. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Here we go. We've had our high school years. Oh my gosh. I forgot. My bad. My bad, Quan.
You don't matter, bro.
That's what it is.
We don't care. We don't care.
What you talking about? No, I'm saying my bad because I forgot to put your picture up. There. Now, because we got to give you some shine too, there, brother.
Hey, real talk. This is my only one. Like real talk. This is my only one. Hey, I'd have got on you. Let me tell you something. That one right there, I couldn't chop, but I burn your ass up though. At that time.
Pause.
At that time.
Pause.
Oh my God.
Hey, but what's crazy is this though. What's crazy is there was one other young lady that her name is Ariel. We marched in the band. She played saxophone, but she ended up a few years later going to Southern, and she played SAI too.
Okay, that's dope.
It was pretty dope.
All right. So now we talking about college. Portia, I mean, this probably is going to seem like the easiest answer out of all of it, right? It seems like it. I could be absolutely wrong. How did you get from your high school band to your university?
To the university or to the band?
Well, to the band. We talking about me. We ain't talking
Um,
about you.
it wasn't it wasn't a straight shot. I was done after high school. I was done because I wanted to go to college and have fun. And anybody that went to school in Virginia knew that the Spartan Legion was serious. So I wanted to go and have fun in college. I wanted to go to homecomings and I wanted to have a life, and I wasn't interested in giving up a life. Okay. So I went down there and I would be out there and I would see practice and stuff like that. But I ain't really paying no mind. What I will say is one time my roommate also marched at my high school. We would twirl a flag together. Um, and we were sitting out on the Greek walk, and y'all was practicing, and I don't know what the Silks was doing, but he was like, if y'all don't stop playing around, and Doc is yelling at them and said, I'll go get those girls from Henrico. Me and her is on the Greek walk, hype as hell, like, yeah. Y'all, the people in the band turned around and looked at us like, what the hell is wrong with them? Anyway, I'm gonna tell you honestly, I came to the first battle of the bands that year. Was it the first one? No, it was the Hampton battle. And the Legion cranked up I Have Nothing. And I looked at Chanel, that's her name. Chantel is her name, that's her name, and said, why are we up here with these regular people? This was a mistake. I don't know what I sat right in that battle of bands. I looked at her, I said, I don't know what you're gonna do, but this summer I'm gonna audition. And the rest is history. I was done with it though. I did enjoy my freshman year though, but it was so bad after I joined the Legion. That spring after the first fall in the Legion, people thought I wasn't in school no more. They was like, you still go here? Yeah, I'm in the band now though. Yep.
Hey, the band will do that to you. It'll do it to you.
So I went to Norfolk State 05, but I'm Legion 06.
All right.
So
That answers some questions. All right.
why I'm not 05?
Huh?
Why I'm not 05?
Yeah. I mean, but you're not, because I had a couple of people in my rookie class do the same thing. So yeah, you're not the first one, but yeah, that does answer some questions. All right, Quan, how did you get to the Storm?
So it's really beautiful how I got to the Storm. So in 2000, I joined the band, like I say, spring 2004. And what ended up happening was I got that band head bug, real talk. And so I asked my mom, I say, hey, like, look, I want to get better. So I need to go to camp or something, because I know they be having them. So my mom would say, well, look, you need to find the camp. So they had a camp, of course, Southern. And I was like, nah, but I want to go somewhere too. They had one in Grambling, and I damn sure wouldn't go into Grambling. No disrespect to Grambling. It just ain't nothing out there but Walmart. So I was like, I'm not going. And my auntie that graduated from there, she's strict. So I damn sure don't want to go to her. So I happened to Google, and PV had one. They had a drum camp. And so I was like, I'm going to go. They say it's 45 minutes outside of Houston. That auntie is nice. So I'm going to go to her. So it was crazy. You met all of them on the DC trip. And so what ended up happening was I got there. I called a lady, Barbetta Freeman. She answered. She was like, it was like, what's your name? I said, my name Quan Mitchell. Yes, ma'am. You know, yada, yada, yada. And it was like, how the hell you heard about PV? I said, I just Googled it. And it was like, well, shit, come on. So I went. That was spring 2004. Matter of fact, spring 2005 now, I believe, at this point. All right. So, of course, everybody knows in the fall, August, Katrina happens, right? So what ended up happening was I went to several different places during Katrina. I went to Rockford, Illinois, where I stayed for some time. I came to Houston for a week or two. But there was a guy, they call him Big Pun. And so Pun was a bass drum player. He's our big Pookie. Cold, right? And so, but all of these Storm people that I was meeting while I was at the camp, because they was like, bro, you from New Orleans? You from New Orleans? Like, how did you hear, about this? And so they would call me on my cell phone. That was back then when we had them polyphonic phones. I had the red Sprint phone with the front camera, with the little light on the front with the antenna. My phone was ringing off the hook. because it was Storm people that was like, say, bro, you good? Are you in Houston? Say, bro, like, and I wasn't even Storm. It was brothers in Kappa Kappa Psi, Tau Beta Sigma, Phi Mu Alpha that was calling. It was like, hey, bro, we heard that you was at the camp. We just want to see if you're all right. If you're in Houston, we'll just take you, take you out for a little bit just to clear your mind. And I wasn't even Storm. So I say, if they doing all this and I'm not Storm, what would you do if I was Storm? So when I finally auditioned, them boys was like, look, we're gonna look out for you for this. I was one of the only few percussionists. Like, I could play, but I had a full scholarship for like 2 years to recoup some of the things to make sure that I was straight and my mama was straight. So that's how I ended up in the Storm. So for me, Storm is bigger than just the band. So that's how I ended up at PV.
Yeah, that's absolutely dope, man. And to be quite honest, man, as long as I know you, I've never heard that story before.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And it really shows the family that, band truly brings. I mean, we have our disagreements. I mean, obviously that family does that. I mean, even from across band and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that even to this day that we can all hold true to is that whatever program that we were a part of is family. It's family in some type of way. And so that's a super dope story. Yeah, I just never knew that story, man. It's great to hear that.
Hey, I just want to say this, but real crazy though. That was the first time it was like the band mecca in Houston for Bayou Classic weekend.
Oh yeah,
because Labor Day Classic was pushed back. And funny story is, in 1998 was my first Labor Day Classic. The Storm was in TSU. When the band got up, I went to go get something to eat. I was like, I don't want to see no goddamn band. I'm gonna go get these hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? And the Hot Boys, Guerrilla Warfare came out. That was like around 99, 98, 99. They was walking around. Everybody was rushing to the front. I was like, well, why they going to do that? I'm gonna get me some hot dogs from over here.
I'm gonna go eat.
I'm gonna go eat. And now, guess what? I done marched in the whole Storm. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Full
circle. My story is not as awesome as Quan's, I can tell you that, but it actually started my sophomore year. Miss Stephanie Sanders, love Miss Sanders, Houston native, came to Willow Ridge High School, and she brought a VHS of the Spartan Legion. And she was doing recruiting. She popped that VHS in, and two things hooked me. The Dizzy-Ack section, because at that time I was pro Trump Funk. Like, I love the Screaming Demons. I thought Screaming Demons was great, but I was pro Trump Funk that whole time during my high school years. And so she popped in that tape, and the first thing I saw was the Dizzy-Acks, and I saw Rick at the end of that video playing the Matador solo. But the way that VHS ended was Norfolk playing Shaft at A&T when the lights cut out and the fireworks was going off. And I thought that was the dopest thing I had ever seen. I was like, no, I've never seen a school do this before. This is super dope. And I've never heard anybody play Shaft. I thought, because if you can listen to the musical intricacies within that, and you can hear the arrangement and the stuff that Paul Adams put together in that arrangement. And I was sold. I was like, yo, these boys is killing. These helmets ugly as hell, but these boys is killing. Cause you gotta remember, man, I'm from the South, so I'm used to, that's what I'm used to. But I saw them helmets and I was like, ugh, and then she did not come back my junior year. I had not seen her my junior year, and so at that time, towards the end of my junior year, well, I'm planning on schools now. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to look at the possibilities of schools, so on and so forth. So obviously, I'm looking at Jackson. Obviously, I'm looking at Southern. And then, during your senior year, you always get those people who come in and they do the recruiting and all that kind of stuff. And UAPB came through, Texas Southern came through. So all these people came through. Obviously, I auditioned. And it was towards the end of the year, Miss Sanders popped back up. And I was like, look at God. Because originally I was going to end up going to Jackson State. I wanted to go to Jackson State. Some of my boys was going to Jackson State. So I was like, all right, we're going to all roll to Jackson State. They switched up on me at the last minute and was like, yo, we going to Southern. I was like, well, I'm good then. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't know where I was going until Miss Sanders popped up. She popped up and she showed me that 2001 recruitment VHS. And that completely sealed the deal for me at that point. So obviously I auditioned. Well, no, I didn't audition. She gave me the information, so on and so forth, but I didn't audition. I don't know why I didn't audition. I don't be hating on Southern. I really don't be hating on Southern. That's actually a lie. Come on, brother boy. I don't be hating on Southern. So it was at the end of the school year. I hadn't taken my SAT yet. This is how crazy it was. I hadn't taken my SAT. My senior year was bad, like bad. Like I was not a good student my senior year. I can just be open and honest with that. I would fall asleep in class. I stopped caring. I would skip school, go with my girl, and we be going to Jack in the Box and be chilling. Like I was not that great of a student. I hope my mama ain't watching this because she don't know. So I hadn't taken my SAT. So I obviously couldn't get into Norfolk. So the day of my graduation was the day I took my SAT. I took my SAT at 7:30 that morning. We had to be lined up by 12 o'clock that afternoon. So I started the SAT and I really I tried to pay attention to it, but I kind of rushed through it. It wasn't that great. And then I had to rush downtown Houston to get to the Compaq Center. At the time, it was a Compaq Center. Now it's a church. To do my graduation. So I did my graduation and I didn't have my SAT scores and I didn't know where I was going. And I got my SAT scores back mad low. Like I'm not even gonna let them. Joyce was low, but I took them. I mean, rightfully so. I took them the morning of my graduation. I didn't care. And so here's the bad thing. I'm gonna say this. This is not a slight on Norfolk State. Just want to put that out there. Norfolk State is an amazing school. I got into Norfolk State with my SAT scores, and so they I got accepted to the school, but I hadn't auditioned. So they were having the new student orientation kind of thing that they do before school starts a week after I had gotten my scores. My mom, and because my father worked for the airlines, I saw that coin. I'm not gonna pay attention to that because I'm telling the story. My mom, my dad worked for the airlines. He booked me and my mom a flight to Norfolk. We went to Norfolk literally like 3-4 days later. Got to Norfolk. I did my new student orientation and I went into the Fine Arts Building and I met Mr. Adams for the first time. Mr. Adams is the one who auditioned me and gave me my scholarship. That's how I ended up getting into Norfolk State. So during summer band camp at Willow Ridge, I'm coming back with my Norfolk State shirt on, blah, blah, blah. I'm super dope now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to school. I'm good. My boys who was going to Southern, they got their little Southern shirts on. So, but no, that's how I got into the band. It was a tragic story. It was very tragic. I ain't gonna say it was that low, but it was pretty low. I just put it that way. But I thank God I was able to get into the school that I wanted to get into, and that's what happened. That's a heck of a story. Sorry, mine wasn't as inspirational as Quan's. Mine was kind of a letdown. All right, so here we go.
You should have landed with that story.
Yeah, we probably should have started with that story. Well, my bad. We nosedived all the way down into that. Okay, so here we go. We in college. We're in our bands. We're in our prospective universities, so on and so forth. Most memorable freshman year performance. Most memorable freshman year performance. For me, and I'm gonna go ahead and start it off because I've been letting everybody start off. I'll start off this one. My most memorable freshman year performance. And that year we did, I want to say maybe like 5 or 6 different drills. We did the turn on the action drill, before I let go drill, the star drill, the gospel drill, and we did one other drill. But my most memorable one was North Carolina A&T turn on the action. That was by far my most memorable one, and the reason why, because I had another memorable performance. The other memorable performance was Morris Brown Battle of the Bands, the Dizzy-Ack battle, the trumpet battle. But this one, the A&T one, was a lot more memorable for me because of the fact that that was the performance that we did. Where we got to play those G's at the end of Turn on the Action. And for me, that was just like the highlight. I was like, oh yeah, you getting all this work with these G's with every, and you know, that was really my like super introduction into the screaming section, you know, like, you know, just being a Dizzy. So I'm gonna pull this one up and we gonna watch this one and we gonna watch this performance. So this is my most memorable performance from Norfolk State my freshman year. Boy, these videos old, they grainy as hell. All right, so here we go. And those of you guys who haven't seen it, this is gonna be your first time. Yeah.
That's a good one. That was one of my favorites too. That's a good one.
That sits in my heart as one of my most favorite performances from my freshman year, by and large. And don't be talking about the graininess of the tape.
Hey, I was looking at some of the videos like
we a little seasoned, all right? We a little seasoned. Brother Moore, that was 02. So yeah. All right. Quan, most memorable freshman year performance.
So for me, like, people don't understand, like, when you're not from an area, and you transition there, like that's hard. Like no lie, like I feel like, and there's no shade to what's going on now. I know we about to sound like the old people, but band camps was different. Like I think about some of the things I endeavor through now, and I'd be like, but I went through band camp when I was 18, and just the calisthenics that we did, campus runs, and you know, it's like freshman first day, band hall is filled when you're doing introductions. But after that first campus run, it dwindles. And then the second day it dwindles. Then after that first week, it dwindles. Then you realize you 3 shades darker. You done lost 10 pounds. You know, we was crabbing. I know y'all say y'all rookies, but you know, our heads were shaved, you know, doing funny things that freshmen do. And you'd be like, damn, like, am I really gonna get out of this? You feel what I'm saying? And then to get to your first game, or like when you really put on that uniform for the first time, you be like I made it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different type of pride, and you think about everybody that wore it before. I'm thinking about everybody, because I had the box CD that they had, you know, they recorded all of their cadences on the CD. I listened to all, and I'm starting to learn track by track. But I didn't know how intense it was for that Labor Day Classic, and they out the gate with it. And so I learned my first feature. So my very first game, now I have to admit this publicly, my first game was an L, though. Ooh, it was an L. That was 2006 Ocean. The Ocean was killing everybody. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what anybody say. They was like a cat playing with a mouse, like throughout the whole swag that year. And they ended up playing Genesis against us. And I'll never forget when they marched in and they ran that torture and they ran all that stuff. I said, I think I might have came to the wrong school. That's like I'm talking about. That was SWAC rules, so it's nonstop playing. I'm talking about
old SWAC rules. Old SWAC rules.
Bro, it's like,
what no stopping.
Nah, I think the boys might have ran about, had to be like 15 songs in the first half. Like it was something serious. But my drum feature, that's when I was like, this is why I came, you dig, to, you know, to be in a box. And I ain't gonna lie, that's my favorite. I can play that feature to this day, that drum feature. Now I don't remember, you know, I've also marched in the Rose Bowl parade, but that feature, yeah, that set it off for me.
Did you send that one over or no?
I did.
That's the one that you said starts at 9:15?
That's the one.
Okay, hold on. Because I want to make sure I pulled it up because it's in the stand. Oh no, I got, my bad. I submitted it. I put 1915. My bad. All right, here we go. So Quan's memorable freshman year performance. So let's see what we got here.
Grainy.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not as grainy as mine, but it's pretty grainy.
What's crazy is when I looked this up, I didn't even know Lameek had it, because that's my first time seeing this one.
Oh yeah, well shoot, shout out Malik. What's up, brother? There you go. Yeah. So this is a Lameek original. So let's go ahead and put it up.
Oh, here you go. That's me, third base drummer. Second to last base drummer, that's me. You see, Larry James. Yeah, man.
Look at old young Larry.
Y'all look like y'all have been through the fire, the flood, and the rain,
Hey,
Ah!
no shade, but we didn't have a safe haven. No, it was bad.
Yeah, it was a little bit of shade there. It was a little bit
No, it's
Hey.
not.
it was a little
'Cause I
shade.
wish I would have. I wish I
Okay.
would. I wish I
Good
would.
job.
But see, but you know what was crazy? I always knew, and it wasn't just the bot, but I'm just saying, I always knew who was getting down, what programs was getting down, and again, coming from where I come from, I was expecting that going to Norfolk, like especially as good as Norfolk was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they're not good anymore. Please, that's not what I said. I'm just saying during my time,
You got to be clear.
right? Like
Right, because you know people on this joint will take what you say and run with it.
Luke said,
clip it. He said they were good.
But no, especially as good as they were, it's like I was like, dog, you this good, you've got to be thrashing. Like there's no way you ain't thrashing, dog. There's no way.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be genuine and just transparent. I feel like the example of Norfolk, and I don't know what other programs doing, and I'm pretty sure there's other programs that are not glazing either, but to develop that type of sound and you not getting down like that, like that's crazy. Like and as I've gotten older, I realize that honestly just falls under leadership. That falls under leadership and vision and standards. And if you could set that, then you solid. But hey, Edwin, bro, 06 Ocean was killing. 06 Ocean would have killed everybody.
06 Ocean was nuts.
In band.
Nuts.
I'm talking about forget Swag Miak, band.
06 Ocean was nuts.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Speaking of 06, Portia, memorable freshman year performance.
Honda.
That was your freshman year?
That was Spring 07.
No, it was Spring 07. Fall 06, Spring 07.
Hey, can I say this though, real quick before you take over, Portia? That's when I crossed the section at Honda, right before we went on the field. Right after y'all. Ain't that we was in the back like, God damn, we gotta go. It was bad.
Yeah, that was my most. I mean, it was like the culmination of a year. It was just being on that squad, and then throughout most of the season, Dr. Zachary only plotted 16 spots. It was 20 of us. So we was playing fight the other person. We had to fight. 4 people won't gonna be out there every week. But for that Honda, and I think one other performance at the end of the year, he plotted for 20 people. So it was 20 silks out there. And it just was an amazing experience. I think it just culminated my year and we killed it. So that is the most memorable, like my freshman year performance.
And it is very difficult to find a good recording of it. But again, you know, we have to be fair at the fact that, you know, we're a little seasoned. And so we're going to try to pull this one up with hopes that, you know, it comes out the way we want. Now, here's the other part about that. For her, it's her freshman year. It's the culmination of a great ending year. For me, it's my last year. I ain't marching no more after this. I ain't touching the field. You ain't seeing me on no field. Don't ask me to march. This was a year, and there's a video that goes around every year that's called the Morgan Massacre. That was your freshman year, right?
That was 05. I didn't march that year. I was there though with my mama because she was like, "Go up here to this," and y'all stomped all over them, and I couldn't wait to say something to her because she marched for them. And
I have that video, by the way. But that was my 4th year in band. So for me, I was like, I'm done. This is it. I ain't coming back. Long story of how I ended up coming back, but I ended up back, and that was a really rough year for me. But this performance was the culmination of the end of the year, my ending marching career, and Portia, the ending of her first marching career or first part of her college experience. So here we go. Let's see if we can get a good little thing going here. Start getting a producer. Just start doing this for me. All right, here we go. Wait a minute, wrong one.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah, the only reason why I knew it was the wrong one was because I heard
Custom was talking. Yeah.
And
Mr. Staten did that one. Yeah.
And here's a quick secret. I was actually supposed to do the one in 08. Cuss was sick, but he ended up doing it. All right, here we go. Okay. I have no idea what just happened.
Okay, I thought it was me. I was like, what happened?
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't just me. All right. So I have no idea what just happened. But I'm gonna go back because that wasn't right. Portia was reliving her y'all should see Portia back here. Portia is doing her flag routine, everything. All right. So we're gonna go back to it. My bad. I don't know again.
No, you don't have. I mean,
No,
that's it.
I want to go back to it though. I want to go back to it. The Lord wasn't. Yes, he was. He was pleased. He was pleased with what the Legion was doing. So yeah, but let me go back. We're gonna go back to it, and at least finish up the drill. So yeah, we're gonna go back to it real quick. All right. So yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. And by far, I'm just gonna say it, one of my most just university best experiences and performances ever. I'm not even gonna lie. Yes, that is a Paul Adams arrangement. That whole show was a Paul Adams arrangement. Everything from the top to the bottom was all Paul Adams. Funny story about that. I left my mouthpiece at the school. That is a very true story. Rick had to allow me to borrow one of his mouthpieces before we left to go to Atlanta. And so I had to break in a mouthpiece at the rehearsal that we had. I can't remember what high school it was. We had some high school. It was cold out there too. But I had to break in that mouthpiece and be able to still perform on it to the top of my ability. So all the screaming that you hear in there is going to be me, Anton, Will, Picklehead, Dion, Akio, and Jamar, I think, was all of us at the time. Yeah, MLK. That was it. MLK.
The Doc was cussing us out in front of them high school kids and didn't care.
Oh yeah, you know, Doc didn't care who we were in front of. If we was messing up, we was messing up. But yeah, so that was her most memorable freshman year performance. For me, that was the culmination of all of my marching years. Yes, his name. Well, his real name ain't Picklehead. We don't ever call Alfred. We just don't.
No.
We whatever nickname you got, that's your name. You stuck with it. It's funny even now. Like people now kind of call me my actual name, but if I go back to the Dizziac section, everybody calls me Twal. That is my Dizziac name. That was my rookie year name. It is what it is. I mean, whatever your name is, that's what it is. We got a dude named Booty Nose. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what it's supposed to be, right? That's your crab name. All right. So yeah, for us it's Ricky names. Okay. So before we get ready to kind of open the room up just a little bit and allow people to come in and say whatever they need to say, so on and so forth. I got two questions. And again, you guys, I remember Moose back. I definitely remember Moose back. We all remember Moose back. I mean, we got some, suck 'em up, Susie. We got a lot of. And Quan, he had to get in the car, so he's kind of in and out until he gets to stable internet. And somebody said that the video Quan does. Yeah, it did. So would you say, Portia, that's your most memorable performance, or was that just the most memorable performance of your freshman year?
No, that was the most, I think, memorable
Okay.
performance overall.
Okay. All right. Girl, by the way, Moose back is a girl. We're not gonna get into these names on this show, I'm telling you. So she did submit a picture very quickly. Apri did submit a picture of her freshman year at Winston-Salem State University as a dancer. So I want to make sure we get Apri in this as well. Again, she was unable to join us tonight, but this is Apri, her freshman year at Winston-Salem State University as a dancer. And so we just wanted to make sure we gave her flowers. And also she said she's feeling a little bit under the weather. So we pray that she, if it gets better and has a speedy recovery. We'd love to have her back on the show. All right. So you said that is by far your most memorable. Okay. All right, cool. So final question before we let folks in. Your transition out of band and to what it is that you're doing now with band. How did that happen? How did that come about?
I don't know. I never thought I'd be coaching. Never. To know me back then, I mean, it just wasn't a thing. Like I went from rookie to section leader 07 and 08. And I knew I was done at the beginning of 08. 08 almost didn't happen. And then I just went on kind of about life, doing whatever I was doing. And then Chanel Woods came back and she became the coordinator for the Silkettes in 2017. And she was my big sister in Silkette. And we had maintained, communication over the years. And when I found out she was coming back, I was ecstatic. And so I would just come around. When I was on the squad, we had a big sister, little sister program, and it kind of died out. So she reinstated it. And so she gave me a little sister. And I kind of was coming around just in a supportive role. And then 2019, I was just doing my normal thing, checking in. Hey, how's it going? What's up? And she was like, you want to be my assistant? And I was like, me? And she was like, yeah. And the rest is history. But when I left Norfolk State in 08, I never saw this for myself. It was crazy because I would come around so much after she got back that Sebring used to say, you on the staff. And I was like, nah, I can't be on the staff. Y'all outfits ain't nice enough for me. True story. And it was just like a running joke. And here I am. So I never pictured this. Some people see that as a progression. Not me. But here I am.
Okay. All right. And obviously I'm a band director but the story for me is not that simple or that easy. Actually, how I ended up transitioning into the band world or getting to that directorship it's a crazy story. So I finished Norfolk State, graduated, and at the time I was working with the band. I was on the EQ staff for a while, and then transitioned into announcer, and then transitioned into videography. So I was doing the videography and photography, cutting the video. So the South Carolina State battle and one of the A&T battles I cut. That one was me, which now I'll be seeing that joint online. So people just took my joint and just started burning it. Y'all phony for that.
What year was that?
What year was the David and Goliath battle? I think that was 07, 08, somewhere around there. 07, 08, 09, whatever. It was one of them years. And honestly, and then I was semi DJ too. The 09 three-way battle that we had, I was the DJ at that battle. So I did a lot with the Legion after I finished and so on and so forth. But the way it happened was I was actually sitting in the office with my brother Custom, Sean, DJ Custom, and he picked up the phone one day, and I'm on the computer. I don't remember what I was doing, but Custom was right next to me, and all I heard him say was, "Julian can do it," and I was like, "I can do what? Don't be like volunteering me for something that I don't even know what you volunteering me for." So he gets off the phone and he says, "That was Dr. Sanford." He said that they were looking for a band director in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. And I was like, "Oh, really?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Pack your stuff up, you going." And if y'all don't know anything about, Cuss or just the relationship that me and him have, he's really like a big brother. Like, so 100%. So he was like, "Pack your stuff up, you're going." I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm not just going." No. He was like, "Pack your stuff, you're going. You're going to take this job." And I was like, "Doc, I don't know nothing about no island, no Virgin Island." He was like, "Bruh, this is a opportunity. This is a teaching position. You have the opportunity to, do whatever, go into your field, go into your craft." And he was like, "Bro, and you're gonna be on the island. Like, what is the problem here? Like, you're going." And so I took that job, and that really started my teaching career as a band director. I was there for I think 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. I left there, came back to the state of Texas, but I didn't have my Texas certification. So for a year, I worked for AT&T and DirecTV. I was doing sales for AT&T and DirecTV. So if y'all ever see one of them dudes that's sitting up in Walmart and they come up to you and be like, "Hey, what cable would you with?" That was me. That was me. I was one of them guys, bringing you to the table and signing you up for the new AT&T DirecTV package when it was a thing, when it first came out. And then started my Texas certification program, and then ended up working in Beaumont at Ozan High School. Well, no, I started out at Central High School and Willie Ray Smith. That was actually the name. His name was Willie Ray Smith. Willie Ray Smith Junior High School. And then from there, it's history. I ended up 5 years at PV and so on and so forth. I can tell you the most memorable performance that I can remember as a director was my years at PV. And it just so happens to be Honda. Honda 2016, 2017. And the reason why that was because the arrangement of "We're Not Making Love No More" was my arrangement. And the greatest thing about that was just to be able to look around the dome and watch everybody's cell phone lights going off and everybody getting hype off my arrangement. I thought that was super dope. And so that was one of my most memorable performances as a director. So yeah, that's it for me. Do you have a memorable performance as a director, Portia? I would assume Macy's, right?
You talking about the Rose Bowl?
I mean Rose Bowl. Why'd I say Macy's? Rose Bowl.
Probably not the parade. They killed the parade, but they was just locked in at that Band Fest performance. And the Legion did that old school show. Yeah, I think that would be one. I'm kind of torn between that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that for now. I don't know that I have a favorite. I never thought about it before now. Um, but yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and pull this up. And then also, guys, I pinned the link inside of the YouTube chat. I also put it inside of the comments. So if you guys do want to come in and talk about your favorite memorable moments or something like that from your years, you are more than welcome to go ahead and click that button. Go ahead and come on in. We'll get you in here and we'll let you go ahead and talk about your time. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Here we go. This is just the part of the performance in which, I mean, the whole performance for me was memorable, but the part for me that stood out the most. This is PV. We're Not Making Love No More, 2016 at Honda. Yeah. So Smiths. My bad. Anyway, the video kept playing. So for some reason, the comments are not working on the page. So I'm looking at your comments. No, that was not me directing, Brother Moore. That was actually that was Rick directing. When I was in the Virgin Islands, was there a band coach there? No, not really. Not in the sense of what we. There was two schools at least in St. Croix. In St. Thomas, it's a little different. In St. Thomas, they got a few schools there, but as far as St. Croix, there was only two schools that we had, and one of them there. The one that I was at, their marching band was struggling, to say the least. And that's not to say anything bad about the director that was there. It's just that wasn't necessarily his focus. But because he was dealing with a lot of chocolate kids, and he had much success on the island for multiple years. But the kids wanted a marching band because the other school complex had a marching band and they was kind of kicking their butts. And so I was sent there to work at the middle school program, but also assist at the high school program. And it's also, super dope because of the fact that, I have a couple of students who actually came from there who's gone on to do other things. Hey Isaac, which is like, one of my adopted daughters, she went to Norfolk first. She's a Legion member, but then she also went to Prairie View, graduated from Prairie View, became Miss Prairie View. Another one of my adopted daughters, LaShante, she went to Jackson State, played Tau Beta Sigma, played piccolo, graduated. And so, it was a really good experience, but was there a culture? Not really, not like that. When it zoomed in, I thought it was Rick. Yeah, it was Rick. It was definitely Rick recording. But one of the things that me and him talked about in that performance was just the fact that it was just really cool to be able to see all the cameras lit up and everything like that. Like, it's a really good feeling, man. And as a director, I had not had a feeling like that anytime prior to. Just remembering when I started at St. Croix, it was 2009, 2010. And so from that moment to 2016, that was probably one of the best feelings that I'd ever had as a director. All right. Good brother Eric is in here, man. So we want to bring him in and let him converse with us real quick. Waiting for him. You good, Eric? You got the camera on? All right, there we go. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and bring Eric in. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Happy New Year, family.
Happy New Year, brother.
Man, it's good to see y'all. Sometimes I troll the comments, but I apologize. It's me. I'm the culprit.
No, you good. You good. I already knew it was you. You good.
I just like to say, what was the question? The memorable gigs from freshman year? FAMU 2003, definitely. I had never seen the band play nonstop or heard them play nonstop to the point where the announcer said, Norfolk State, please stop playing. And then, what else? But the highlight, Portia already said it. There was a highlight of my marching career. Was the first Honda, and I'm gonna be real specific about that. The first one, not the second one, but the first Honda. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I do have a question as our illustrious announcer. Like, since you've been on this side, is there a performance that you like really like, or that you have a favorite since you started announcing? I know I put you on the spot. I'm sorry, but I just wonder, if you had one. If you don't,
it's kind of difficult. I don't get to enjoy the show, but if I had to pick one, you mean whole shows or certain excerpts from shows?
Whatever you want to give us.
No, because I'm trying to be fair. The Slow Tone in Houston from 23.
This last one, what was that?
Superwoman.
Superwoman,
because the people were singing. So
yeah,
that
went over well. Yeah,
that went over well.
Yeah, it's something different about that crowd response that just kind of gets you in your gut. As a performer, we've all experienced it at some point, not just us three, but just people in the chat, so on and so forth. But as being a part of a staff, whatever role you're in, it's almost like the culmination of seeing the stress, the struggles, the constant conversations, the back and forths, the changes, the crying, the broken toes. Like, it's like, all right, it was worth it all in the end.
Yeah.
And so it just, I absolutely get it. And so I can understand why that would be the one that, kind of sits with you, because again, that's the same reason why that Honda performance for me as a director kind of sits with me.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember this, Luke. We was beside each other when the drill started at Honda. You may not remember,
I
but
don't.
I was in. I know it's old, man. It's okay. I remember. But, yeah. But that's it. I just wanted to share
We
that with
were
you.
back to back.
We were in the same squad marching towards the 50 because
Yeah, because
The
me
guard
and
started
Will,
out in the
me and
middle.
Will ended up on the 50 together.
yeah, we made that slant like this
Yeah,
to connect. Yeah, it was right there.
I'm telling you, that whole year was a blur for me, bro. But hey, if you remember it, then it's all good. But you're absolutely right. That 03 FAMU, bruh.
And I like to say this. This is not shady, but even the 2005 Legion, when we played a certain band in Greensboro, second game, we can watch the footage later. But yeah, I said, quote me, find me.
With his T right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely understandable. Man, you ain't ever changing. But no, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna actually pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. The 2003 family. It's on here. I've seen it multiple times. I just gotta find it. 2003 NSU FAMU. This is it. I found it. All right. We ain't, because it's 25 minutes. We ain't about to play this whole 25
No, not
minutes.
25
I can tell you
minutes,
that right
but
now.
at least the drill lesson, or you can always pull up the 05 before I let go in the gym down there.
Old Spice is the greatest smell in the.
I didn't know that was gonna start. 05 and
Greensboro.
okay, yeah. I remember that. All right. Well, as Eric tips out, we gonna watch. We ain't watching 25 minutes of fam. I can tell you that we had to watch that on our leisure. But as he tips out, we gonna let him roll out with this one right here. 03 Legion at FAMU. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the one thing that made me mad about that performance was they was like, "Well, it was our homecoming, so we wasn't focused." No, you caught that foot, bro. You caught that foot. All right, so here it is.
Real bands take L's and move on.
Yes, absolutely. 03 FAMU Legion. Here it is. Appreciate you, Eric, brother.
I love y'all. Take care.
Bye.
I just want to say, for some reason, we just was like balls to the wall. We didn't care about no attacks or releases in this whole process. I just wanted to put that out there.
Which is abnormal.
Huh?
Which is abnormal.
It was well, no. It depends. You get us hype, and and then you got to remember our stand presence. But for this one, we were just like, eh.
This is a little nuts.
It was. Because you can hear somebody in the mellophone section taking it up. Like that's not even close to where you're supposed to be. Yeah. I think that was me hanging over. I think that was me hanging over.
It's so crazy how much all of that stand stuff
is different.
For the Silks and Hot Ice, A is different, way different today, but even was different from when I got there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those ripples they just did, we didn't do it. Like they was just like, hand. No, it was hip.
Oh yeah, y'all started putting them. Y'all started putting them side meats into it.
Yeah. Ooh, wow, that is interesting to see.
Crystal said these kids can't dance nowadays. The link is still up there, man. If you guys want to talk about your memorable moments, again, unfortunately, on the program, the comments aren't working. Quan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. What was one of your memorable performances as a director?
Actually, thus far, I just had one. For Home for the Holiday, I had approximately like 70 kids that came back from when I first arrived at Worthing in 2019. So every single one of those kids I actually taught.
That's awesome.
Some of them have went into the workforce. Some of them have went to college. The ones that are in college currently, like they came back, and it did my heart well because as directors, we all know we don't want to do a job in vain.
Mm-hmm.
But when those kids come back, even though they're enjoying college, or the workforce, those real memories really be from high school, bro. That shaped them. Like these kids really are joining college bands because we introduced it to them.
Yeah.
These kids are really our band heads and listening to band music and whatnot because we introduced it to them. And so I think sometimes we take that for granted. But all 70 of those kids, like I influenced them or taught them something. And so I was like, if God allowed me to do this in 5 years, if I'm blessed with many more, what's to come? So my best moment was this past December thus far.
Absolutely.
Super dope.
Yeah, it is. I mean, rightfully so, right? Just being able to see the fruits of your labor. It's always good to be able to just have students to be able to either come back or just account for moments that you've had in your experience as a director that helped to mold and shape them. I every year I get a student, whether it be from high school, whether it be from PV, that will always recall a memory that I honestly don't remember. But for them, it stuck with them, and it's something that lasts. So absolutely, I think that's super great, man. I think it's super dope. So all in all, one of the things that I think that is great about this is the fact that we were able to just go down our memories and our memory lane and being able to recall certain things or certain parts of us that brought us together in this thing called band. one of the things that really is interesting to me is that when we start having opinions about certain things as far as band is concerned, a lot of people are like, well, who are you? Who are you to give that opinion? Who are you to be able to say X, Y, and Z? And my response is always going to be, I'm a person who's a part of what you all or what we deem the culture is. My lineage is there. Very similar to what we were able to do just now. You can pull up anything that I was a part of and you can see, well, that's who I am to be able to have the opinion. Am I the greatest at it? Absolutely not. Am I the greatest person who ever marched or who ever played a trumpet? Absolutely not. But I have stake in this thing just like you do. Quan has stake in this thing just like you do. Portia has stake in this thing just like you do. Brother Moore has stake in this thing just like you do. As long as we have these experiences that are very, very equal to one another, then we all have a valuable point to put into this thing, to be able to shape this thing, what we call the culture. And so I think that the fact that all of our experiences are connected are a beautiful thing. We all have a story. We all have a similar story. We all have a program that we can call family. And I think that within itself, isn't that what makes us part of the culture? Regardless of how we like to be able to express it. If we like to crank up, we crank up. If we like a nice balance and blend, we like a nice balance and blend. But isn't that all part of the culture? We're a big melting pot. But we all have one goal, trying to create great music. So you guys have the availability to learn more about who we are. And in turn, we've learned a lot more about you guys. Some of the comments that you guys have left, I think, are super dope. The funny thing is, it's on the comment section. I don't know if y'all can see the comment section, Portia and Quan, but over here, the only thing that is stuck on is Mooseback, a guy or a girl. That's the only thing I can see. Everything else, I'm looking down on the chat and the YouTube. But I hope this was a great way that you guys can see inside of who we are, where we come from, our experiences. And I hope that all of our experiences, were able to match some of you all's. With that being said, hold on, I got one question on here because I can't see it. Which experience was better for you, teaching on the public school or the collegiate level? Ooh. That's a really good question. And I've never been asked that question before. I don't know. I really couldn't answer that question. And before I wrap, because I saw this question and I felt the need to answer it. The reason why is because the impact on students on both sectors is always great to me. My years at Prairie View were awesome because I was doing Prairie View at the same time I was doing high school. So seeing some of my high school students, it's funny, I was able to bring my high school band program to PV for high school band day, and also being able to work at PV at the same time. So I'm doing both roles. And then some of those kids matriculated into the Storm, and I was able to watch that growth from them being a high school student to a university student. So I think for me, I don't think I put one over the other. I think the impact that I've had on students from either situation has just always been great. Because as a high school director, I've also had memorable performances too. But I think that the level of those performances are what kind of makes them slightly different. Having those rival high school performances as a high school director is memorable for me. but also being able to, because I was a middle school director as well, being able to see a kid go from tooting a F concert to being able to play a full passage is a memorable moment for me. So I don't know that I don't think I put one over the other on that, but that was a very good question. One I've never been asked before. So I appreciate that question. Appreciate you, RJ. But yeah, with that being said, man, let's get ready to go ahead and wrap. Quan, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
Nah, bro. Just excited about this year. One thing that I must say about this show, at least one thing that we strive to do is we always strive to continuously to learn more and more. So even though we're educators, we have not arrived. This is our culture, but our culture really, really needs to take it to the next level. Looking at those videos, of course, it's nostalgic, but in my opinion, I feel like due to politics now is less teaching. So we got to get back to some of the real teaching and making bands better again.
Absolutely. I didn't know if that was a period or not, so I just kind of wanted to let it kind of dissipate. But no, I absolutely agree. All right, Portia, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
No, that was fun looking back. But no, I don't think I have anything to say. Oh, shout out to those bands that participated in the HBCU Culture Battle, the bands that happened in Atlanta on last weekend. Yeah, that's what I got. Shout out to those bands. Y'all still going. Y'all still doing. So bless you. Okay. I'm sitting at home and that's the way I want it to be right now.
Awesome. So I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure Portia said something very profound, but for some reason my screen cut off, so I didn't hear nothing that Portia said. The only thing I heard was her giving props to the bands that are still going right now. But
I didn't say anything profound. I didn't have anything to really say.
I tried to just give you some props, but I guess you just did not want those props.
I didn't say anything profound.
Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. I ain't gonna beat a dead horse. But no, man, super dope show, man. Guys, when you guys are watching this on playback, man, I really hope and pray that you guys get something out of this and also just really enjoy the conversation. Also, man, you are more than welcome to go ahead and hit that like button on your way out today. And if you're watching this on playback, hit the like button while you're watching it, man. Also, you are more than welcome to go ahead and leave whatever comments that you want as you are looking on playback. Again, we read every single one of these, or at least I know I do. I know Portia told me she done read a few of them, and then I've sent a couple to the group because some of them just be like, "What are you talking about?" But no, this has been a super dope show. Also, we are still going to do the viewer's choice episode. That is not changing. So please make sure you stick to the Instagram. Matter of fact, we were live on Instagram. This is the first time being live on Instagram. So please make sure you guys go check out the Real Talk That Talk Instagram or the Passionist Network Instagram so you can find the link so that you can go ahead and put in your information that you need for the viewer's choice episode, as well as if you are somebody who wants to be a part of the Passionist Network for anything. If you want to be a guest on Luke's Band Report, if you want to be a guest right here on Talk That Talk, if you want to be a guest on Diet Related Band Director, we're also going to put up a link just for that so you can get into that as well. Once again, this has been a super dope episode. Luke Report on Battle of the Bands in the Gym. Ooh, I don't know if y'all want to hear my thoughts on that. I don't know. As a matter of fact, I'll say this. If y'all want to hear my thoughts on that on Luke's Band Report, before we get out of here, put that in the chat, or after we leave, I will check the chat to see if y'all want to see my thoughts on that, because I can tell you right now, I just don't think y'all want to hear my thoughts on that. I'm just, because
shout out to the flags from Alabama A&M.
A&M. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if y'all want to hear my thoughts on that, because my thoughts on that is completely going to go completely left, and I'm pretty sure I probably will. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you like this before we get out of here. I had to call Quan today because of my thoughts on that performance. Like I literally called Quan, like, bro.
I'm not really in a band mood, but I watched some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm a fan. I like what I saw from Alabama, the color guard at Alabama Eminem. But to me, and I don't want to belabor the point, it didn't sound like it was January.
All right. With that being said, though, again, I don't know if y'all want to hear my thoughts. Brother Dawson gonna be the only person to be like, yeah, I want to hear his thoughts. Everybody else gonna be like, nah, we can't trust this dude no more. Anyway, man, but no, I appreciate you guys for holding it down with us for this whole 2 hours, bro. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys continue to keep locked with us right here on the Passionate Network. I'll tell you guys, I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna do a Luke's Band report on that or not. But other than that, man, you guys be great. Y'all have a blessed one, and we will see you guys on next week. Oh Lord, this thing. Oh, there we go.